People ask me questions, I answered it. That's this bit. Here we go. Joey M. asked, what is a conspiracy theory you believe the most? The more I look into it, I do believe JFK may have been an inside job, but I have no idea. I wasn't in the CIA back then, so I really don't know. Ronald T. Jr. asked, why do aliens only probe us rectally, not complaining and getting tired of it? Yeah, this is a complaint we get a lot, but nonetheless, you can get a lot of information out of someone's rectum. You know, if you try to get information out of their brain, you end up scrambling it. But you know how like dogs sniff each other's ass to get information? It's the same thing with aliens. They're just shoving things up there, and most people seem to enjoy it, whether they say they do or not. Nonetheless, that's the reason. You can get a lot of information without scrambling people's brains. That's why we do it rectally. I mean, that's why they do it rectally. Mike W. asked, what are your thoughts on the U.S. ban of DJI drones in America? I don't think the Department of Justice deserves any drones, so I think that's great. All right, Hatton B. Jr., what are the pros and cons of cutting a sandwich straight up and down and diagonally? There is no pros for cutting it straight up and down. Diagonally, you get more sandwich. It's just a money-saving measure. You can get more sandwich for your money if you cut them diagonally, especially club sandwich. They're delicious. Also, it should be a war crime if you cut a club sandwich not diagonally. You're out of the club. That's just how this works. Chris V. asked, let's talk JFK. How many were actually involved? Well, we already talked JFK, and since it was a conspiracy, I would say there is at least 2 involved, potentially more, but it would have to be at least 2 to be a conspiracy. Once again, I wasn't in the CIA in the 60s, so I have no idea. All right. Mick M. asked, King Kong or Godzilla? Very easy for me. I'd say King Kong because I've never eaten at Godzilla. Now, King Kong is a little expensive, but they got pretty good gyros. Pam O. asked, in the beauty of homeschooling, what is your favorite memory with each child? And the one misconception about homeschooling that irritated you the most? This is a great question. We did homeschool all 4 of our kids. And my favorite memory of homeschooling was me backing away and letting my wife handle all of it. I was very much absent throughout the homeschooling process. But that's okay, because my wife is smarter on most of these topics than I am, and I would have ruined my kids' lives if I taught them. So I think that's my favorite memory. And as far as the biggest misconception that irritates me, everybody assumes that every homeschooled kid is smart. They're not. That's a bad stereotype. It's a good stereotype, I guess, but it's just untrue. So there we go. All right, Mike W. said, can I ask another? Crust or no crust? Great question. It depends what you're eating. If you're eating yogurt, no crust. Pizza? I want crust. All right, Shelby W. asked, is it true that pineapple becomes sweeter when turned upside down to ripen? I'm seeing a ton down here in South Carolina, and I'm starting to think it means something else because when I put one out to ripen, all of a sudden, all of our neighbors at the campgrounds become super friendly. Now, I want to preface this by giving a disclaimer. I happen to personally know Shelby. And I know that they are currently, her and her husband are in South Carolina on a family reunion camping trip where they've rented out the entire campgrounds with just their family. So I want to just say, with that in mind, I did write a song for you. We'll play that clip now.
Family reunions make the best swinger parties. I only go looking for a fresh new shawty.
You should probably get better family. Right, Joe W. asked, what are the results of your toilet paper roll test? I'm incompatible with that test, and I won't say which direction, but it is a size thing, so I can't do that test. Shelby W. asked another question, what color is your shower loofah? I don't know what loofah means, but my shower is like an off-white color. Shelby W. also asked another one, now I'm just using you as a magic 8-ball. Should we have a 4th baby? And would it be a boy? We should not have a 4th baby because that would mean that we had 3 babies already, which we don't. And I don't really feel like having 4 more kids. So no, I'd say we probably shouldn't have a 4th baby. All right, Vicky C. asked, what part of MK Ultra was Charlie Manson part of? Great question. I've never actually seen that Transformers movie. So I really don't know how to answer that one, but I'm sure it's a great question. Maybe somebody in the comments can answer, but I can't. All right, Sam H. Why is it that we used to be able to send long audio video files via text messenger or email, but now there's such a small limits on them of what you can and can't send with Dropbox type without a Dropbox type app? Great question. It's a conspiracy against us poor folk. The big rich corporations of America are trying to take us one bite at a time by making us get Dropbox subscriptions. They end up getting our DNA out of that, and then they're cloning us. Pretty sure that's what that is. Jared W. asked, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? That all depends on the woman, in my experience.